What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Old Monster Mondays. Wow, we got a
Hi.
list of folks already in here. Let's see. We got Fishing Local in here and
Welcome back to
351,
Monster Monday.
Annette, Mike's Fishing Home, Joy. We got Rustic, Melissa in here, LG Bass, Catfish Fever Outdoors. See, that might be, yeah. Okay. Brian B. I appreciate everybody being in here tonight. We got a pretty well known guest. Got old Pontoon Jody in here, going to talk about some of her fish and stuff, and let y'all ask some questions and everything. So we'll give it just a few more minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get started. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh, John, I see you in there fishing for Whiskers. Hey, Cos, what's going on? Chucky, Dale. I'm gonna have to get you on here one night, Cos. Talk about your long nosed barracuda.
Stick nose.
Oh, stick nose. My bad. Hey, Becca. I've got Hog Leg in here. Roger. What's up, G Style? What's going on, bud? Yeah, was it all? It's all mine.
Mm-hmm.
Backyard
Michelle.
chickens. Okay, yeah. Bug man. Yeah, so we got a good number of people in here. So what's up, Clayton? I see you sneaking in here too, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me a little bit more time, Clayton. I got hit with some work stuff. So once I get it taken care of, I got some stuff I'm gonna send you, bud. Jojo, I see you in here too. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. I think we've got like a good list of fish that you can go through if you want to talk about not just and some of them not just a catfish, although they can be confused for one. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you're ready, I'll go ahead and let you start your story.
Okay. Let's start off with this. We're going to get that out of the
Nice.
way.
Throwing bows early.
I got to stir it up. I guess the first fish we'll talk about is, of course, the flathead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My favorite.
You know me, it's always a flathead. It's all I'm after. It's what I want to catch. It's what I want to see. So my biggest one I got on May 1st of last year, about 7:30 of the morning. I just got there and hadn't had all my lines stowed out yet when it hit. And what it done was, when I have a flathead hit, usually the line just moves a little. It's not a big takedown or anything like that, but I can watch my line instead of my pole and tell if I got a fish on it. And I could see my line start moving a little bit, and so I just watched it and I let it swim with it a while, and then made sure the hook was set, and then the
Right.
fight was gone. And it probably took about 5 minutes to get it in. It was kept diving down. Uh, went under
So
the
it
boat
wasn't.
one time.
Sorry, it wasn't a long fight. It was actually kind of a short fight.
Yeah. When you got those pins, it's not that long of a fight.
Right.
They
Yeah,
crank
that's
them
true.
in. That's why I like the pins, because it's like just a big crank.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
like
They're a
that.
win.
Mm-hmm. The abus and stuff is a lot harder to fight, and I'm afraid I'll lose them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
true.
So I, he was a good fight, but that about 5 minutes, and I got him in and I weighed him, and he's my biggest. I guess my biggest one before that was about 35 pounds.
Okay.
So he was really pretty. You've probably got a
Now,
picture of him on your phone.
now, is it the one with the?
No, that one was
It's not that one.
a
Okay,
36 pounder. But it actually looks bigger than my 42.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
See,
and
I might
I've
have a
been
picture.
trying to beat the 42 ever since. I get them. I get them anywhere from 25 up to 39. I cannot get past 42 pounds.
Okay, let's see. I think you sent. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get another monitor so we can actually bring this stuff up for y'all. I believe you're talking about this one, right?
That one is the 42 pounder. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's a pig. That is a absolutely huge flathead.
And I catch all of mine in the channel usually. What's so weird
In the
about it?
channel.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Pens number one.
They are. And I use the Warfares. They're the middle range ones, and they're plenty good enough for me. Some people don't like them. Some people love them. I like mine, and they're exactly just perfect for me. I'm happy with them.
Okay. They
But
got
I like
plenty of
the
life
30s.
on them.
Yeah, I like the 30s. I don't like the smaller ones.
Oh, okay. Shoot, yeah. We got
Yeah.
some people piling in here now. Let's see. Also sneaking in, we got Rustic. Let's see, we got Garvin here. I see Brian B's in here. We got Zoe. What's up, Avid? How you doing, man? Appreciate you popping in here. David, I see you in here. Um, and so it was a short fight on the big flathead, which that's kind of crazy. I always find flatheads fight hard because they get their head down in that current, So
Mhm.
even with a pin, still, I figured it'd been a little longer than 5 minutes, but that's good and get him
Mhm.
right on
Usually they're about 32 to 38 foot deep where I catch them at.
in.
And,
Okay.
and I usually cast over the ledge. That's the hardest part, getting up over the ledge.
Oh, so okay, so it's there's a ledge in the channel.
Hmm.
Okay, that I mean, I've caught them just kind of cruising through, but that makes a lot of sense. So it's kind of like a highway area. I like that.
Yeah, it's a bottleneck area I found.
Sorry, for whatever reason, my mouse wouldn't bring up anything.
Uh,
All right, so was there anything else about the flathead, or it looked kind of like just a straight yellow color? It's crazy the colors that those fish have.
hmm I think they remind me of, I don't know, probably military people know this, the digital camo. I think they look like that.
Yep, they really do.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a heck of a flathead. I like the fact that he's got just a humongous head to him too. It always
Hmm.
just surprises me. And
Yeah.
you always think you're using too big of a bait until you get these fish up and you see how big their mouth is. Which actually that brings up a question: what'd you catch him on?
Skipjack. A
Skipjack?
skipjack
Okay,
body piece. Usually the big ones hit the heads.
right.
The,
Okay,
the, the smaller, medium ones, they'll get the body section. But if something hits the head, you know you've usually got a big fish.
right. Was it fresh skipjack or was it frozen?
It was fresh, but I do catch them on both.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious because you hear, you got the people that say you can't catch them on anything but live bait, and then you got some they only catch them on cut bait, and you catch them
Mm-hmm.
on frozen, you catch them on fresh. So I guess it just boils down if they're hungry, they're just going to eat anything,
Yeah. If they're biting, they're biting.
right? Do you have one of your setups nearby you could show everybody kind of the idea of what you're using to catch them?
Yep. Recently got these. Oh, goes the phone. Sorry.
You're okay.
They ring and ring and ring too. I recently got these Uncle Loopholes. I ain't caught one of these yet though, so I'm dying to try it, just to see how it handles. Usually it's a big cat fever rod. It'll quit in a minute.
Oh, you're
Or
good.
not.
It's fine.
And then I've got these the Pin Warfare 30s.
Nice.
And I use a 50-pound line.
Okay, you're using heavier line. I like that. I usually use pretty heavy line myself.
Yeah.
What's up, Haz? I see you in here, bud.
And then I have a 100-pound leader, and I've got a couple beads, a 5-ounce flat sinker, no roll. And I think this one is Uncle Lou hook. And that's a smaller hook than I normally use. But I use
Still
anywhere from 10 to 12s.
right. That's still a good size hook.
I downsized some. Me and Cos were looking for dinks. This is my dink hook.
Nice. I mean, that's
But
still what you say. It's an 8-aught or a 10-aught. That hook.
I believe it's an 8.
8, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it.
I got a question for you right here.
Okay.
Want to know if do you have difficulty breaking the 50-pound line when you're hung up?
Normally don't break it. I normally get it loose.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm in a kayak though. You're in a pontoon boat, but when I get
Mhm.
my 40-pound line hung up, I cannot break it out of a kayak. I mean, I have pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled myself upstream and just can't. I end up having to just cut it.
Yeah. Usually if I get hung, I'll give it some slack. And the current sometimes pulls it loose, off whatever it got hung on. And if it don't, then when I leave, I'll drive the boat around and get it loose. Go on the back
Okay.
side of it.
What's up, Bob? I see you in here, man. Appreciate them stickers, brother.
We were just talking about him earlier, wasn't we?
Yep. Talk about them those vacuum sealed leaders. That's funny.
It
All right.
was. I
So
couldn't believe it when I saw it.
yeah, it might be a little much, but I mean, it keeps
Mhm.
it it keeps it, I guess, nice and neat.
He is extra.
Yeah, right. So, well, that was your flathead. What's the next one up on the list you got for us?
A 45-pound blue cat.
It's a good blue.
And I've not got nowhere near it. Like 35 pounds, 37 pounds is all I've caught since then. I caught it November 15th of 2020, a little after 11 o'clock of the night.
So once again, y'all forgive me. I don't have a second monitor yet. I'm working on it, but
Mhm.
it's it's going to be whited out from the screen. But it's a
Yeah.
big blue. It looks a lot bigger than 45 pounds. I'm going to tell you right now, that looks like a 60-pound fish.
It was, I'm used to lifting stuff like that, and you didn't see me standing up with that one, but that's what my scale weighed it as.
Wow, it looks so big to be 45
Hmm.
pounds. I mean, and you can see the tail goes way past your hand too. It's a long
Hmm.
fish.
I was more afraid I would drop it. That's the reason I sat with it. Afraid it would flop and I'd lose it, and I didn't want to hurt it.
Uh-oh. Gotcha. Can you see the question or
No, you have to read it.
uh Rustic put Jody, who would you want to fish with the most?
That is such a hard question because there's so many people. You know.
Someone that puts you on fish.
Yeah, that's always helpful. Uh, gosh, I don't know. I'd hate to pick one person.
Right.
There's there's just so many. I mean, I'm traveling right now fishing with different people. So, there's lots of people I want to fish with. John and Dana Parker. Just to hang out with them would be a hoot. And I'd like to take them and get them on fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be
And
pretty.
Steve Douglas, he's up there. Chris Flores, Flathead King.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Could you I mean, I know you love catching flatheads. Could you imagine going down there catching the number of flatheads that he catches?
I'd never want to leave.
Right. So that big old blue that you caught, was that the same thing? You caught it on skipjack or
Yep.
okay. Now that wasn't the same
And
night though. That was a
no,
different time.
that was about 6 or 7 months earlier,
Okay.
and I caught it all on Walmart gear, Walmart poles.
Really?
Yep, that's kind of I had. When you first start out, you buy what you can afford, then you upgrade, and
Right.
that's what I caught it on. And it pulls it in just as good as the expensive stuff. So Walmart's what you got. I mean, I still use Berkeley big games. I've got some of those on the boat too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those are good.
They, they pull them in just as good as the big cat fevers.
Oh yeah. That's one thing that I try to push to people. I'm using better stuff now, but I
Hmm.
still have some of my older cheaper setups because
Yeah.
truthfully, I like to show people sometimes that if that's all you got, and get out there and fish with it anyway. If as long as you take care of it and you play the
Hmm.
fish right, you can still land good fish on cheaper equipment. Now it may not
Yeah.
last as long,
Hmm.
but if it only cost you
Just try
30
to be
bucks for the
longer.
whole setup,
Yeah.
that's not terrible. So yeah, we got a bunch of folks in here now. Uh let's take a look. We got Down East. What's up, man? Of course, we know we got Joy in here. See, what's up, Big Dan? I didn't see you in here. Carolina Real Screamers, Kimberly Oiler. We got a bunch of folks in here tonight. You're pretty popular,
I appreciate them stopping by.
right? Now that blue, was there anything special about that catch or anything, or is it just kind of like a
I
average
thought
an average fish?
I thought it was a flathead. It was cold and it stuck to the bottom. It never swam off. It just went straight back down every time. It's like I was picking up a rock.
Really?
Yeah. And of
That's
course, I was using the different gear. I was using, cheaper gear, so that made the fight a little harder, to get it in. Because it does make a difference. You're just talking about changing your gear out. I consider it like tools, You're always
right.
upgrading to, you start out with a corded drill, then you get a wire, the battery operated one. You just keep upgrading yourself. That's the same thing you do with your fishing supplies. They're your
Yeah,
tools.
that's
You work with.
Haslife says the Jody fan club's in the house.
He's going to get me in trouble.
She's throwing shots, y'all. She threw them in the beginning. She's throwing them now. That's funny. Okay, well, so it was a harder fight because it was on cheaper equipment, but it ended up being your biggest blue.
Hmm. That's my biggest fish I've ever caught. Is 45.
Oh, that's your biggest fish. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's good. It's your biggest blue and your biggest fish.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to believe he didn't fight harder than that. A lot of times when you catch blues, they just
They take
burn
off like a
up.
bullet. Yeah.
Yeah,
But he just sunk down like a rock, and I had a little trouble getting him up,
right.
and I thought it would be a flathead. Then I finally thought maybe I've got a log.
Yeah.
It just kept going back down the same spot. But I finally got him up, and he was a very pretty fish.
Now, how long
I
of a
think they're
fight
all
was
pretty
that
though.
fight?
Hmm. I think they're all pretty. I mean, I just love catfish.
Right. Now, how long of a fight was that with the blue cat? Do you know?
I've got videos of it. I'd say at least 5 minutes. I don't know if it's 10 minutes. And he was deep. That was deep water back there.
Nice.
Yeah, he was a lot deeper than the other one.
Do you ever have trouble with, especially fishing that deep water? Do you ever have trouble with a fish trying to get back down after you bringing them up, or
They all drive back down unless you that one might have been suspended. That's
right?
why he stayed down like that. But if they're casted off and you bring them up to the top of the blue, pretty far off, they usually stay that way. But if, you bring it up to the boat and it's underwater, they'll go back down again too.
Okay. I was just curious. I hear I've had people talking about reeling up catfish from like really really deep water. Their air
Mhm.
bladder expanding, and I'm used to
Oh
saltwater
no,
fishing. They're used to them doing the same thing.
I
I was
take my
just
time.
curious.
It's
Okay,
when you
yes,
reel them up too fast.
yeah. Okay, so that's it. So you're just taking your time to bring them up.
Well, a fish that big, it takes a little bit of time. But if I'm fishing 30 to 38 foot deep, that doesn't happen anyway. Usually, when you start
Okay,
fishing 50 and more, you have to worry about the bladder.
okay, yeah. I was just curious. That's I've never caught one out of super super deep water. All of mine have been like 30 feet or less, so I've had no
Yeah.
trouble with them. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
I've had a few just kind of burp a little bit of air, and then they're good to go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Curious if anybody now's a good time if y'all have any questions about those fish. She's actually got another fish. Well, actually, you got several fish you could talk about if you wanted to. See if anybody's got any questions they have for you about the flathead or the blue or tackle or whatever. I mean, you're hoping to catch something on that Uncle Lou here soon. That'll be good to see.
Hmm. That pole was actually given to me by Whisker Drains Ricky, so I
Oh,
want to thank
really?
him for it. Yep, he gave it to me for Christmas,
Oh, that's nice.
and then my
That is
girls bought me a pole for Christmas, so I got three of them.
let's see. Oh, where'd you go? Roger wants to know: do you target wood or other structure for your flatheads?
I do. I go to other spots when if that one's not hitting, I go to different locations. But I call it a rat's nest. It's just a bunch of structure on the bottom, and you can see different colors inside of it. So I know the fish is in it, and I just sit on top of that and I suspend, and they come up and hit. But there's a lot of blues around the area too.
Right. Oh,
But,
my buddy Joe's in here. He's trying to start drama. I'll tell you the question, but don't answer. He says, "What's your opinion on who's the best catfishing person?" Don't do it. Don't fall for it. You're gonna get us in trouble,
Nanya,
Joe.
Nanya.
Right? Let's see. Yep. So while we got other people getting questions put in, did you want to talk about your third fish that you sent me? Because that one is actually very interesting. Like I've only ever seen two in my entire life, so the fact that you're holding one is kind of cool.
It's a sturgeon, and I'm allowed
Yeah.
to say the word because I caught one.
Yeah. Right.
And
No triple in here, but let's see.
it wasn't nothing like stands, but I was happy with it. 19 pounds, 45 inches long. And it hooked it in the mouth. It actually took my bait.
Oh, he actually
People,
picked the bait up.
yep. Because
Oh
when I
wow.
put reeled him in, he's laying on the thing. I was looking for my hook, and I'm like, "Where's his mouth at?" And I flicked it over, and the mouth's down here on the bottom, and my hook was in there with the cut bait. He
What were you
sucked it
using?
up. Skipjack body section.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
That's crazy. The fact that
Yeah,
he picked that up.
yeah.
And I'm not super familiar with them in the Tennessee River. I believe they get kind of big, not super big, but I think they get in the 100-pound range, don't they?
Well, they was reintroduced. We're trying to bring them back, and when you catch one, you're supposed to measure it and send it in, and then send your certificate for catching one. And that's how they're tracking the progress of the growth.
Oh wow. Okay. So you got a certificate for him.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
That's I mean that's crazy. I seen the only one I seen in person. My family when I lived in Dalton, Georgia, up there.
Hmm.
My family came to visit for Thanksgiving, and I took my sister up to Tennessee River to fish because she seen me catching catfish. She wanted to
Hmm.
try, and she was trying to catch a bluegill for bait. And the sturgeon, one probably about 40 pounds or so, picked up a cricket
Really?
on, yes, and it was jumping everywhere, and it was insane. It was on a small pole. That's the only one I personally seen. She had a crowd gathered.
Yeah, I bet. And I didn't
I
know what
didn't
it
even
was when it talked. When I peeled that up, I had to figure out what that fish was because I never saw one. And it dawned on me it's a
really.
sturgeon. Yeah.
How did
You
he
never know what you're going to catch.
was that?
I said, you never know what you're going to catch. That's what makes it so fun.
Right. Uh-oh, we got a big guy in here. Oh, Joe from Chat Cat said that's a great catch. Only ones that he's caught was in Minnesota. It's cool when they leap and jump out of the water.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being in here, Joe. Yeah, anything like a sturgeon is just neat to me. They look like a dinosaur already. They got armor plating
Mhm.
on them.
Yeah.
How did he hit? Did he hit like a blue cat or anything? Or
I caught him in about 34 feet of water on the bottom, just like I was fishing for my catfish, and he swam under my boat with it. And I had to pull him out from under the boat.
wow, did he thump it
Yeah.
when he bit it?
Oh, yeah. I could tell I had a fish because the pole was actually, bent over going where it went under the boat. And I cast it off pretty far. It took it and ran with it right under the boat.
Wow, that's crazy. To see the out
Hmm.
of the three, I love the flatheads, but the sturgeon,
Hmm.
that's just neat to me.
Yeah.
Mm. Hopefully, you can get another one, especially if you caught one in that area. There's a chance. I mean,
I saw somebody else catch one when I was skipjacking back there. And I I don't know. He was with his. I felt kind of bad after I did it, but they was pretty close to me, and they got him to hold it up, take his picture, and it flopped, and he screamed like a girl, and I get busted out laughing. I couldn't help it. He dropped it, and he
it's
turned around and looked
appropriate.
at me real mean, and I'm like, I can't. You screamed over a fish. But yeah, he's he was a little scared of his sturgeon.
I bet. I just seen. Let me find there was a question for. There it is. Joy.
Mhm.
Joy wants to know how did you start fishing and when? What's your
I've
story
always
behind?
fished. I had a pond and a creek and a woods growing up. I've always fished. Cane poles mostly what I used because we tore everything up we had. There's so many of us, and I just every day I fished. Usually, it's brim and bass, and I caught a catfish out at one time. We didn't even know there's catfish in it. That's when I got hooked. But they dropped me off on the bus, dropped another kid off. By the time they got back down, I usually had a big bass on the line, and I'd show them when they went by. Big tomboy. Uh, Probably shouldn't tell this, but they couldn't keep me out of the water when I was young. Little country driveways are full of mud holes. They actually dug me a mud hole up by the house to get into. So it went me down by the road and by the pond because they sprayed. I mean, I got thrown in the water all the time trying to get me broke from it, trying to scare me from it. Never fazed me.
It just made it worse.
Creek, I'd go down there and get crawdads, and just then I'd climb the tallest tree I could get and be up there swaying.
Nice.
I just
When did you make the jump to serious fishing? Like with like getting all this equipment, the boat, and all that. What made you decide on going that into the deep end? Pretty much.
well, I was going for a car. And I like fast cars. I was actually going to buy a used Corvette, and when I got there, they sold it. And I'm like, I think I'd like to have a boat. And so I started looking on Marketplace, and I found the pontoon. I went and got it. And then I just started buying stuff and upgrading right off the bat. I started going 3 times a week as soon as I got it.
Oh no, you jump right into the deep end.
Yeah, I drive an hour and 20 minutes about each way. And I don't sleep good. So as soon as I get off work, I go fishing. I get home about 4 o'clock, take a shower, go to work.
Nice.
Yeah.
LG Bass said, so Jody lost the polar plunge on purpose.
No, did not. I had no idea I would lose that bet. I went into it cocky. What happens then?
Yeah. That I've heard
It bites you in the
stories
hind
about.
end.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It bites you in the hind end when you get cocky.
I've heard stories that you had to jump in the water. That was a little bit before I started watching everybody. So you lost that.
Yeah, I didn't actually jump because it wasn't deep enough. I walked into the water on the boat ramp.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it during the winter time?
I think it was about October. Wasn't too bad. I guess at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh no.
Well, I had a heater. Actually, it was a little cold because I remember we had a heater on the dock and it was real windy.
Oh man. Yeah, I see you making bets with folks and everything. I always wondered if one ever bit you in the backside for it. That's pretty funny.
And you know what the worst thing is? I skunked.
Oh, did you really?
He beat me with 10 pounds.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Hmm.
Was y'all fishing from a boat or from a bank?
We was fishing from Tom's dock, and
Oh, okay.
I brought my catfish gear, and I had the monster tournament the next day, so I had my 50-pound line on it. And he tried to get me to switch it, and I'm like, no, I won't have time to change everything back out for the monster hunt. And I couldn't cast it far enough to hit the ledge, the channel, and that's what got me.
Oh no. That's part of it.
And then I'm proud too. I didn't want to take help casting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
No. No,
then
I win or lose.
I,
I'm doing it on my own.
I finally did let them cast it for me, and as soon as I did, somebody in chat named Warthog or Hogleg started running his mouth, and it made me mad, and I reeled him back in, saying I had to have a man do it for me, and I'm like, good gravy.
Oh no.
So I didn't like hearing that, so I reeled him in. I didn't like letting them cast it anyway, but I thought, well, before I take a skunk, I'll let them cast it out. Nah.
Yeah, that would make me mad too. I'm like, no way. I'm gonna do it on my own, whether I win or lose.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay. Well,
But I made good friends, and I met people, and I had a good time.
oh, Hog Legs in here. He's got laughing faces up right now for you.
Yeah. Me and him, we weren't exactly the best of friends for a little while after that. We finally smoothed it over. We're buddies now. But he kept throwing it up to my face.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. So, when are there going to be any more bets coming up here soon?
Mhm.
No, no.
I've got a few 1v1s coming up. Pork Chop would not leave me alone. I finally had to oblige him. And whoever loses it has to wear a Barney costume for 2 days and sing I Love You on a short for YouTube, the Barney song.
Oh no, that's going to hit big. Joe, you just need to shut up, man. Don't make me come. I'm going to see you in another week for this cat con. Just keep running your mouth. Yeah, that that'll be good. You're going to be going to the cat con, I'm assuming. I'm hoping I can run into you up
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
I'm
At the
hoping to
meet and
meet a
greet, I
lot.
have to go. I got a 1v1 at the meet and greet too, the gathering with
Oh
Matt from One of the Outdoors.
no!
Yeah.
Oh God!
uh,
Bob said you got to watch her in them late night chats. She'll time you out for no reason.
maybe. He's sleepy. I'll give him a 5-minute break.
Oh, so we got a little while to go. If anybody has any questions they want to ask, and yeah, definitely CatCon hype. I'm getting excited about that for
Yeah.
sure. Is there anything that you're looking for, or anybody you're hoping to run into up there? I'm hoping to run into all of
Mhm.
y'all. Like I'm just gonna be running around trying to meet everybody. So
Yeah. I'm considered a meet and greet. I want to, talk to people I see online. It's like I was telling people, it's just not for YouTubers. People who just watch, I want to meet you too. I see your name, I talk to you in chat, feel like I know you just as well. So I want to say hello to you all. Uh, I want to buy some reels while I'm there. Want to handle them and see how they do.
yeah,
And
that's
might get a catfish hat.
oh nice. That's one good thing about going to something like that is if you got questions about tackle, you can
Mhm.
actually pick it up and look at it. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
just order and hope for the best.
Mhm.
You end up getting trash or something when ordered to your house, not knowing you can actually look at it. Yeah, I'm not paying attention to you, Joe. I'm ignoring you, bro. He's trying to get me in trouble.
Now, do you catch strappers where you're at?
Oh yeah, all the time. As a matter of fact, I catch more catfishing than I do anything. Like we have a pretty good run. No
Hmm.
giants like the Tennessee River's got. We get maybe 30 pounds sometimes. You don't see very
Hmm.
many of those caught. But 9 out of 10 times I catch them fishing on the bottom and
Yeah.
for catfish. Like I catch a few on lures here and there, but they're always small. The big ones are all big chunks of skipjack or
Hmm.
shad.
Yeah. My biggest one is 23 pounds, and it was about 35 foot deep on cut skipjack.
That's a good
Yeah.
stripe.
Some nights, just depending on the bite, I might catch 6 of them. Just
Oh wow.
aggravating things. Yeah. Because you think you got a fish, and it don't take long to realize it's a striper the way it runs. You figure it out pretty quick, that it's another striper. And they're
Always
usually
running
about
to the left,
15.
right?
Yeah. They're usually anywhere from 11 to 17 pounds, usually what I catch.
Okay. That's not bad. See, I enjoy when I catch them. Like I like all fish. So if I catch a stripe when I'm catfishing, that's like a plus for me. The only thing I don't like is when I start getting into the little bitty guys and they'll tear my skipjack up, and then I'll catch one, and
Hmm.
it'll be like a 3 pound little baby stripe. I'm like, oh God,
Yeah.
now I've got to move because if there's a bunch of you here, I'll never get a catfish.
Hmm. What I don't
But
like about it is they're hard to get them to live after you catch
right,
them, and you can't eat them where I'm at. They're contaminated.
right.
So it's like
They,
it's a waste of a fish. I may spend 20 minutes trying to get that fish revived. Sometimes it
wow,
works, sometimes it don't.
that's good. Well, that's crazy. It's got to be because you're catching them in deep water. See, here my river's super shallow, so when
Hmm.
you hook one, I mean, it don't take no time to get them in. Even a decent sized one, where you're
Yeah.
putting him back in the water pretty quick, even during the summertime. I think I've
Hmm.
only ever seen somebody accidentally kill one once, and they
Yeah.
hooked it on like 6 pound line on a skipjack rig, and just they couldn't pull it back up against the current.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that when they let it go, it was dead. There's no way
Yeah.
around that. But that also is surprising. You're probably hooking them on like that pin reels like you're using, and
Hmm.
they still don't revive too good.
No, because they take off screaming. They pull your drag out, and I'm usually cast it off anyway. And then they pull that drag, and they give a really good fight. They wear themselves out. Is what they do. And then you have to throw them in and out of the water so many times, net them, get them back in. It's a pain.
Huh.
Because I want them to live, you know, but
Right.
sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Joe put, I always love a good alligator snapping turtle while catfishing.
Hmm.
We get some the Tennessee River. I actually have not ran across too many big turtles. I don't think I've even hooked into a turtle. But our river, we get the 200-pound alligator snapping turtles. They're
Hmm.
and you know it too because like your pole twitches. It's like a flathead bite, and then when you set the hook, it's like you got a car underneath the water.
Hmm.
Like I mean, you just can't hardly move it. And then when you get shallow, they throw their legs down. You can just see this huge melon head sticking out of the water. I'm like, oh,
Hmm. Yeah.
uh, we have terrible turtles down here in our river. That's the only bad thing. Our river, you really have to contend with the turtles here.
Hmm. You use chicken?
I have used chicken.
They like chicken,
It's
don't they?
not the what's that?
The turtles like chicken for bait, don't they? Is that
Oh,
their favorite?
I've never cooked one on chicken. It's
Yeah.
always on bluegill and skipjack.
Okay.
I've only ever caught channel cats on chicken here.
I've caught 30-pound flatheads on chicken.
Oh wow.
When I first started out, I didn't have bait all the time. I watched Dieter, and he suggested chicken. So instead, before I stay home, I'll use chicken. But I used chicken for a while when I first started, so I could get skipjack. Then once I got
Right.
skipjack, it don't compare.
Oh no. See, here our skipjack are seasonal. They go downstream, and this is actually the time of year they're working their way back up.
Hmm.
So everybody's going to be scrambling to like fill their freezers for the year here in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they show up. Um, but like the skipjack, once they're
Hmm.
done. They go back downstream, and if you use up your
Really?
bait, which is what happened last year, and I couldn't get any bluegill for whatever reason. I just couldn't find them.
Hmm.
I ended up having to go chicken, and I was still catching fish, but I never caught anything big on chicken. They were all like
Hmm.
6-7 pound channel cats.
Yeah.
It's a big difference between the skipjack and chicken because even
Hmm.
frozen. The last time I was up there, I don't know if you saw. It's been a couple months, but Bob and Big Mike and all of them were up there with me. We caught some skipjack, and the ones that I had left over, they were like 2 days old. I brought them home and froze them,
Hmm.
and it way outfished using chicken.
Oh yeah.
Way. That 30-pound blue that I caught on my live a few weeks ago, or about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, but that was on that frozen skipjack, that 2 day
Hmm.
old frozen skipjack. But
Yeah.
like chicken, they just nitpick at it.
Hmm.
Appreciate you being in here, Hog Leg. I see you got to go back to editing. Hooks and hammocks in here. How y'all doing?
Howdy. See ya, hog leg.
What's up, Alvin? How you doing? Mike's fishing home. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you being in here. I've seen you poking in and out. I just getting a chance to say hey to you, bud.
That's my
Um,
CFL.
yeah, I'm always seeing y'all doing some kind of live or chatting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it, yeah. So, is there anything else that you wanna talk about, or is there anything that you want to show, or we still
Um,
got a little bit of time. We don't have to make it go a full hour. We can end whenever, but if there's
yeah.
anything you want to talk about or show, Uh,
Oh, I've got a
plus,
couple Facebook pages. Pontoon
okay,
Jody Catfishing. And then I've actually got a women's page. A lot of people don't know about. It's called a Women of Catfishing, and it's set up to where men and women both subscribe to it. And but it's set up for women to post their pictures because I can't tell you how many times I've heard women say they didn't feel their fish was good enough for the regular pages with the men. So I made that one, and women's the only one who posts on it, but the men will get on and tell them it's a nice fish and stuff, and because everybody can encourage everybody.
right.
But it's called Women of Catfishing, and there's quite a few YouTubers on it. They post their stuff.
I'll have to. You'll have to send me a link, or I'll find it later. Either one, but yeah, we need to share that out and get that out there because, like we were, talking before
Hmm.
the live. I've got a couple of friends of mine. They're lady fishers. They're YouTubers just starting off, and they started strong, and then they kind of gave up because down here, especially with the stripe run, they just felt like they were just being out competed by the male fishermen, which, in my opinion, is not true. I think they let it get too in their head, but
Hmm.
that's just how they feel. They kind of took a break from everything, and I'm trying to get them back in the game. Like, just don't worry about what somebody else is doing. You just catch fish.
Exactly.
So that'll be a good thing. I'll send that to them and get them looking at it. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Let's see. Whiskers and Stripes. What's going on, bud? He wants to know where my local waters are. So I'm down here in Columbus, Georgia. We fish the Chattahoochee River. I'm up here. It's super super shallow. It's a super narrow river. The section that I live on. It's completely blowed out right now by rain. It's like the highest water level it's ever been. So that's crazy to see. We got water up in the parking lots and stuff. Um, so my waters are a little weird compared to other people's because I guess because it's shallow. I don't know what the reason, but our flatheads, our blue cats somewhat, but our flatheads and our stripes, they they run upstream. The flatheads run just like the stripes do. So when everybody else is chasing stripes, I'm chasing the flatheads. You can't keep
Yeah.
a poor little bluegill on bottom when the flathead run's going on. Them poor things are just demolished. You can't find any bluegill either. You got to go to other parts to find them because they're just either eating or they're hemmed up somewhere hiding. They're not wanting to eat. So that'll be starting up hopefully in about 3 or 4 weeks. It's getting about that time.
Hmm. I can't wait.
Yeah,
And
y'all
I've got a
pretty
couple
good.
shows I'll talk about. I've
Okay,
got a talk show with LG Bass on his show on Wednesday nights at 10, and that's Eastern. And we bring people up and we talk to them about the person, not so much their fishing stuff, but try to find out more about the person and get to know them better. So
okay,
it's kind of fun and interesting. And then I also have my show that comes on Thursday nights from 10 to 2, and that's Eastern. And it's usually live fishing. Uh, Sometimes I'll have panels up and we'll talk about some issues, or we'll talk about flatheads or certain ways, techniques. And then also I have a game called Flathead Challenge that'll be starting back on March 31st, and it'll run all summer. And that's where you can come on screen with me through, I think it's called, is it Yard Stream? If
yeah,
that's what's called,
StreamYard.
Stream, yeah, okay. And you can come on and fish against me, and we have just a point system for the weight of the fish to see who wins. And there's no prizes, it's just bragging rights. Just a fun time, actually, what it is.
Good luck fishing
And
against you.
usually, yeah, there's usually I can bring up about 5 to 6 people easy.
Okay.
And you don't
Bob
have
has
to count with the flathead either. You can your blues and your channels count also.
yeah, but not as much.
No, well, I mean I want to see a flathead, but
Yeah.
a
Um,
catfish is a catfish.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Bob has shared out your link to the Facebook group. If I could get
Thank you.
somebody, I wasn't paying attention. There it is. Annette already has done is sharing out your YouTube page, um, or channel.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Annette, Bob.
yeah, I appreciate y'all doing that for us. Yeah, see if we can't get you a few subscribers. I know we have a lot of the same people, but then we also have some
Mhm.
different subscribers. So
Yeah.
um, I'm very interested about that Facebook page. I really want to try to share that out. That'd be good for my area.
Mhm.
We have a lot of lady anglers in this area, but they
Mhm.
just I don't know. We got so many bass fishermen down here. It's
Yeah.
hard to get any kind of catfishing done. I'll say that. What's up, Brad? I see you in here. But yeah, Pat, Brad, Pat. Oh, twin. Poor Epic was getting us confused. Oh, that's funny. Um, cool. Well, it's actually turned out to be a really good Monster Monday. We actually had three monsters to talk about. That's pretty awesome. I
Yep.
love it whenever you can bring up a ton of good fish. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not this thing isn't just about your biggest fish. It's about good fish. You know what I mean? Like a monster to
Mhm.
somebody may not be a monster to somebody else, but
Exactly.
those are
Mhm.
definitely monsters right there. Um,
Yeah.
uh, so Stan, I see that bass is good bait. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we can use bass down here. I got that clarified the other day. That's actually a lot of people on here. I'll say this real quick. You've asked before. Um, I didn't think you could use game fish here in this part of Georgia, but I was
Yeah.
wrong. As long as it's caught on rod and reel, we can use anything for bait as long as it's not a protected species. So we can use bass, stripes, whatever, as long as it was legally caught on
Mhm.
rod and reel.
Yep.
So, and see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought you had to put all of that stuff back. Now I know there's a lot more bait options that I can go with.
Exactly. Mhm.
What's up, Hawaiian? Why do people put lady women in front of anglers? They're just anglers like men. That's true. Yeah, I mean, that is a good point. That's true. What I was saying is I've got a couple of my friends that like they feel like that they can't compete with the male anglers. And so, but that was just my way of describing that. But that's a good point. That's true.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, probably one of the best fishermen I've ever seen is my sister, and a lot of people can't beat her. Even I have a hard time beating some of the fish because where I catch a lot of fish, she only catches big fish.
Yeah.
So she's always got the worst and the best luck because she'll hook a big fish on the wrong kind of tackle. So, but that's her
Yeah.
problem.
Mhm.
Catfish and crappie, what's going on, man? I see y'all in here. Um,
Hey, Mark.
yeah, so we got a few minutes before we can end it. You talked about your
Hey,
Facebook
Lynn.
stuff and everything. Oh, there's
Um, that's basically all I've got going right now. And like I said, I've got 3 would-be ones coming up. I'm gonna try and get into that one-be one of Mark's that he sponsored.
oh no.
Yeah. I've got that tournament for Josh the Weekend Angler. I think it's in April, maybe. So I've
Okay,
got quite a few tournaments and stuff I plan on getting into this year.
that'll be good.
I just,
It's
yeah, I
it's
just wish there was nighttime. I don't know why
yeah.
everybody has to have a daytime tournament.
Or get some nighttime tournaments. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely. Put some night times on.
It's getting that time of year too where the fishing is going to pick up a lot. Now's the time to start getting into your tournaments. I think it levels the playing field a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know everybody's rivers are different, but come spring, it should help a lot of people
Mhm.
start getting into the fish. I know the Tennessee River, which I'm waiting on this too. Springtime
Yeah.
is going to get crazy.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, okay, Bob. Most of us aren't vampires. Okay.
Uh, he
I
stays up
think
late though.
Oh yeah, I think everybody I've talked to so far that fishes says that they don't sleep good. I think it's just a trait of being a fisherman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
We're always, especially catfishing, we're always up late trying to chase a catfish. I mean, you just kind of like get used to not sleeping. I mean, I know I do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, Oh, there's my wife down there. She says, "Thank you, Jody,
Mhm.
for a great show."
Appreciate it.
Yeah, see, she knows a lot of fishing because of me. Obviously, I talk her to death over it. But the one of the channels that she knows by name is your channel.
Yeah.
So, but I guess we'll go ahead and
Mm.
we'll end this thing. Well, we got about 5 minutes or so, but we'll go ahead. I know Catfish Weekly is getting coming up. There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of us over in there, so if we go to it, we'll see you in there. I'm pretty sure we'll
All
see
right.
most of y'all. But I appreciate you coming on here. I was hoping I could get you to come on and talk about some of your fish.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah. So all right, everybody. We will see y'all in Catfish Weekly, and I will see y'all definitely next Monday. Y'all peace out.